again.
Yeah, we're back. Fan Expo Part 2. Part 2 of our it's a two-part series, isn't it?
Part 2?
Yeah.
Dulux.
Part 2, yeah. So, yeah, guys, again, this is the second part of the Fan Expo extravaganza. As you know, a couple weeks ago, Toronto had the largest Canadian event of the season, which is the Fan Expo. I think the final numbers were around 140,000 people attending the event. So definitely we broke a record this year as the the busiest Fan Expo ever.
Oh, it sure felt like that on Saturday, didn't it?
Oh man, the film footage was from Friday. Saturday was baby steps.
Yeah. So without any further delay, we're going to continue on here, and we're going to start with Big Mike again. Mike had bought a bunch of Silver Surfers, and in the last episode, you saw 2 of them. So now we're going to show the final 3, right? Is that right?
The final 3, because, I mean, when you see them at these prices in the condition, you got to snap them up. And the thing about Big B is they had them in all these really cheap plastic bags, so they actually look worse. Once you marlin them up, they look a lot better.
Big B? You bought these from Big B?
No, sorry, this BMV.
BMV. I was going to say.
BMV.
BMV takes care of presentation.
I mean, just for example, like in US dollars, that's $7.50. And that's a $60 book and a 6.0.
Wow, you really stole these, eh? Wow.
The last Silver Surfer of the series, Volume 1.
Sometimes they're hard to get it. The last issue's in good condition. It looks nice.
It's one of the better conditions out of all of them.
Ooh, sorry about the glare. Yeah.
And so then we've got 9 and 10. Again, I pay about $11 1/4 for these. $11 1/4 for these, and you know, they're worth about $46 in this condition.
And what generally are we saying grade-wise for the 3 on average?
5.5, 5.5, and I give the 18 a 6.
So they're basically really saying all about fine grades, 6s.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
That's
and
not
a lot
bad.
of them are Bashima, but the 18 was a Herb Trimp cover.
Herb Trimpe, yeah, best known for doing lots of incredible work in the Bronze Age for Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And so after 18, the series was canceled. But I mean, now they're on Volume 7. Number 11, Volume 6 won the Eisner Award this year.
Wow, that's a big prize. Will Eisner Award, eh?
And again, it's a double-sized issue.
No, of course it would be. You tell a good story, you need more than, 24 pages to tell that sometimes. You create a saga.
It won Best Single Comic.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very good. No, Silver Surfer has always been popular. Like I on a previous episode, we commented about the 90s run there. Had some good Starlin and Jim Lee issues there. Silver Surfer always been popular, but you're getting the good stuff, the earlier stuff. The first series from the late Silver Age. At these prices, man, this score, very good.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say one final thing because Mike didn't mention it. In 18, as he did mention it.
We need to see 18 here before we end this up. Yeah, that's a good cover,
18 was a very final episode, and or a final issue, and it actually says at the very end of on the very last page to be followed by the Savage Silver Surfer. I think that's what it said, the Savage Silver Surfer.
Like that, yeah.
And of course,
it never happened.
It never happened. It never got published because this was, you know, I guess Marvel canceled the series, which is a shame. But I guess sales weren't that great.
Remember, there was rationalization in the early 70s. There, like I said, a lot of superhero titles were on the wane. They were trying out different stuff. Horror was back in because of the code.
Yeah.
So that's understandable. And I guess I've commented before how the story lacked the cosmic element of it being trapped on Earth and stuff. So the whining got a little bit too much for people, and it got canceled.
Anyways, cool books, Mike. Thanks for showing them.
No problem.
Okay, and Jose's next book, he's also showing it one of his, I guess, DC anthologies.
No, this is an annual, New Titans annual #1 from 1982.
Nice.
Now, the book you see that propped against there is the DC Cover Girls hardcover coffee table book, a great book. I mean, it's got some great features on the main women of DC. We're talking people like Wonder Woman and Lois Lane and Catwoman and that kind of thing. So I put it at the page here because the page you see that is New Teen Titans 23, which we featured in the earlier episode, that a book I purchased for $3 at the Toronto Comic Book Show. And by the way, guys, where are we here this weekend? We're going to be at the Toronto Comic Book Show, Sunday the 25th.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. So, like I said, the annual #1 for the New Teen Titans, not a key book, I read for Jose. I will say this was picked up from Big B in their $5 bins. Now, this was on the second day where we were doing some scavenger picking with Mike there. It's not, like I said, it's not a key book, but why it's important for me is that basically it continues the story, the saga from Teen Titans 23, where you see on the page, the book I featured. This is the Starfire Blackfire saga, the two sisters added toe to toe. It's included in this episode on the Teen Titans Annual #1. Great book. At $5, that's what it's basically priced at in the guide. $5, $6 in a high near mint, like $9.92 kind of thing. But what's special about this? And the show, I must say, by the second day, it had worn on us. I mean, normally we don't look over books, you know, that are at the $5 range as close as we would at a $50 or $100 book, obviously. But if Mike will do me a favor and just flip the book right now, there's a special hidden Easter egg or something we should have probably noticed at the first pick. Turn that book around. It has a certificate of authenticity, and why does it have that? Because this baby is signed by that marvelous team of Marv Wolfman and George Perez, writer and artist for the New Teen Titans.
Wow.
From comicshop.com, one of the big online retailers and auction houses. So this is no fly-by-night, signed by Joe Blow kind of thing.
Somebody dropped the ball here.
Somebody dropped the ball, because you know what? At $5 Canadian, what is that, like about $4 US? I mean, that book is worth $20, $25, in my opinion, alone, just for the signature.
The signature, yeah. Perez is a $20, $25 signature.
And it was amazing because you said you had two of them in your hand at $5.
And which one should I pick up?
And I said, I'll take that one. It's a little better.
And we'd be lying.
You didn't notice until you're on the subway looking
We'd be lying if we said we noticed this at the show. Like I said, by that time the show had ground us down to freaking ground beef. So we didn't notice that baby, and that's my lucky find of the thing. Like for $5, you pick up that, and it kind of makes up for the fact that I didn't basically, I said in a previous episode, I tried to get Stan Lee's signature, and in a way I'm kind of glad I did. And it was $100 I didn't have to spend. Apparently, Stan the man, I mean, I know he's 92 years old, but it was like an hour and a half late. The lineups were from here to tomorrow. So in that sense, it kind of made up for that fact.
But you got a Perez.
I got a Perez Wolfman, man. That team from the, like I said, for DC, they were as popular. Teen Titans were as popular almost as the X-Men classic Claremont Byrne issues. I mean, and I've always called Perez the John Byrne's brother from another mother, the Latino brother, man. If you like Perez, you like Byrne. If you like Byrne, you like Perez. Their styles were so classic and fluid and just kind of classic. I mean, as you can see from that. So great pickup.
Cool. And for all you comic book sellers out there, just so you know, caveat on tour, it goes both ways, baby. It goes both ways.
That's right.
Yeah, lucky find for me, man. Okay, next two books up at the plate are Eagle-Eyed Ooze, and we here have Marvel Team Up number 53 and Amazing Spider-Man 94.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, just showing my, you know, everything I grabbed. So Marvel Team Up 53, the key thing about this is that it's the first John Byrne work on the X-Men.
Wow. Who'd have thought? Like, I mean, you'd have thought it would be one of the classic X-Men issues, but here it is, his first work on X-Men and a Marvel Team-Up book? Wow.
Yeah, from January 77. This was a small little guy. I don't know. He had a small, tiny little booth.
Probably one wall, one table kind of deal.
Yeah. It was just this interesting character who proclaimed he had photographic memory. Anyway.
Yeah, if I remember, he had a few boxes, good, bad, and the ugly kind of boxes, I call them.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a range, but this looked really nice.
Yeah, in good condition. Yeah.
So for $22.50. At a 7.5, it's worth about $31.50. Now, if you look at the cover, you would think, "Oh my God, this is a 9." But when I opened this up and looked at the back, someone had written 30 cents with a red pen, and then there's one little dot that I don't want to scrape off because it looks like it'll tear the paper.
Yeah, it's gonna hold it down.
But when you look at the other side of the cover, it doesn't go all the way through, which is okay. But just because of that, I knocked it down to a 7.5.
Yeah.
And you could probably push 8. And who, a lot of people don't really care about the back cover. Like,
Well,
it's
it's
not
less
broken or
important.
ripped or anything. It's less important.
If you're gonna have a defect, you probably 90% of people would say they prefer to have in the back and the front
Yeah,
cover.
because
Yeah.
you look at that and you go, oh, wow, look at that 9.
It's a nice looking cover.
But and again, I'm always a little harsh. So I could probably push it to an 8 or so. But, it's fine what it is. And there was still room on it, so.
So enough about that. What about the Amazing Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man from March 1971. Again, this is obviously a BMV just by how low the price is. 11 and a quarter US.
Wow.
For a 6.0, that's a $60 book. And yeah, it's not the whitest. The white's not the whitest on it, but inside it looks great. And the cover's fine. I mean, it is just
Nice
very
cover.
appealing, and I'm happy with that.
The Beetle.
And it's a John Romita cover.
Of course, man. Most people's favorite. If they're gonna have, like me,
Yeah.
you're always gonna have your Ditko fans, the first 38 issues. But
Oh, yeah.
most people think classic Spider-Man. You usually think John Romita. At least I do,
Senior.
anyway.
Yeah,
Senior,
yeah.
by the
Of
way.
course, yeah. We might get into senior, of course. Yes.
Yes.
Well, those are great books, Mike. And me being a John Byrne fan and trying to collect the whole John Byrne X-Men run at some point, I'm definitely have to pick up that team up, when I get the opportunity. And I had no idea that was his first X-Men artwork.
I didn't either. Jose pointed it out
Yeah.
to me. Thanks. Shout
Yeah,
out to
hey, I
Jose
know.
for that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing them, Mike. Fantastic books.
Thank you.
And next up we have Jose, and wouldn't you know, he's got a couple more keys here for us. We got Brave and Bold number 62 and New Gods number 3. So there you go, Jose. Have at her. Let's hear it.
Okay, so we started out small. We're going to continue, well, not quite small, but small mid-tier for me.
Small,
these are mid-tier.
mid-tier.
For other people, that might be a little bit more expensive, but these are what I consider like lesser grade books because of the price. Now, when I say lesser grade, I mean about a fine book, okay? So let's start out with New Gods, number 3. This is from July 1971. It's a minor key for me, and when I say minor key, it's the first appearance of Black Racer. Now, he was once thought to be DC's first black superpowered being, but it appears that Viking from Forever People issue number 1, featured in an earlier episode, beat him to the mark by about a few months.
Yeah.
I don't really think Black Racer, of course, is a major character in the DC universe of comics, but he is a new god and a supporting character in Kirby's Fourth World.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Racer takes on the form of Sergeant William Walker from Earth. Now, Walker is a Vietnam vet and was paralyzed in the war. The Black Racer merges with Walker's body whenever he is needed. His alignment is neutral, and he flies across the sky on snow skis. That's actually the connecting factor here. You'll notice there's kind of a lot of skiing going on in these covers, if you notice, okay? So that was my kind of little thread of these two books.
Yeah.
Of course, New Gods was picked up from that dealer that had like a dozen tables and like a bunch of bins there, like a lot of
That was million.
yeah, and all of them. We can go on about Big B having high quality books at good prices, 50%. Apparently, all these guys' bins, anything not on the wall was 50% off.
Oh,
Nice.
So you'll see a $30 price tag. I actually only paid $15. So again, very reasonable price, at least for me anyway.
Yeah.
No money, $12 US for that book. Again, it's a small, minor key, first appearance of Black Racer. This is the kind of the skiing version of the Silver Surfer, if I could put it that way.
Yeah.
Except black, not
yeah.
silver. Black Racer has been referred to as representing death as inevitability, without getting too metaphysical. Also, like I said, a good book, about a fine plus 665. $15 Canadian, no money paid. So enough about that. Let's go to the next book, which is Brave and the Bold number 62 from November 1965. Nice Silver Age book. Now, again, we got some skiing going on here. This was not actually a con book. I did some pre-sniping purchasing from a dealer who I knew would be at the expo, and this dealer, without mentioning him, he normally takes his time because apparently he goes through each book, which you want, I guess, in a thing before he prices it out. If people who've seen our episodes look at the sticker, they'll know who I'm referring to, who we're talking about
that's for
here.
sure, yeah.
So this book is a key. Now, it's the first Silver Age appearance of Wildcat, and it's the first Silver Age appearance of the Golden Age Huntress. Now, No, boys and girls, not the Huntress in Batman mythology, but Paula Brooks, the Golden Age Huntress, and both a villain of both Wildcat and the Justice Society of America. In later DC timeline, post-crisis, she would be renamed Tigress. So Wildcat, Tigress, a very feline episode here we have with this book here. Now, this issue also finds the first Silver Age appearance of Wildcat, whom is a Golden Age DC Comics hero. Now, this is the Ted Grant version of the character, the most important one, and the original one to hold the mantle of Wildcat. So, this is a quirky, funky cover. This is from the team of Murphy Anderson and Gardner Fox. Cover by Murphy Anderson, script by Gardner Fox. They did really funky covers. I mean, look at that guy. The issue is called The Big Superhero Hunt. The Sportsmaster, again, is flying through the sky on apparently jet-propelled skis, and he's flipped one off and hit Starman right in that head, kind of conking me out. Now, without giving too much, and there may be some spoiler alerts here, so I'm calling out spoiler alert!
Spoiler!
The Sportmaster appears on the scene and steals the famed Parker Trophy, leaving Black Canary, who was assigned to protect it, to get it back. Now, at the same time, Starman discovers that Wildcat has been captured by the Huntress. And while fending off birds sent by the villainous to attack him, he learns that the crime duo are now man and wife and are out to capture himself, as well as Wildcat and Canary. Now, I love Black Canary, and currently I have the issue before this, which includes the first Silver Age appearance of both Black Canary and Starman. A nice high-grade book picked up from Darcy when he picked up a really good run of that. Cool. I'm getting a CGC, and I expect to come back in 9294 for a Silver Age book. That's great. Now, of course, the grade on this one is not quite that. I probably agree with the grade being a 5.56, fine minus fine. For $50, it's not too bad. If you want the Overstreet splits for 6, 8, 9s are 30, 69, and 147. From the comic book realm, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5s are around between 47, 67, and $90. So there is some room there, okay? But, you know, it's not a home run, but it may be a hit. It could be a double. But we'll have to see about that. I'd have to get it graded, and it's not, unfortunately, in a high enough grade that I'd want to spend the money grading it graded. But I like having now both 61 and 62 first and second Silver Age appearance of the Black Canary, who, after Power Girl, is tied for second with Starfire, which we showcased in the first segment of my thing, as my favorite DC heroines. So for me, anything with Starfire and or Canary, that's for me.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys got pretty good prices there, and I found, as I mentioned in the last series, in the last episode, I mean, I didn't find the prices that were that great, but again, I didn't get shop until Sunday.
Well, that's why they were still there on Sunday.
You gotta go on if you're gonna buy books, go the Friday, because there's some vendors that they don't replenish. It just gets picked out and then it's gone, and then that's it.
Guys, but the point I was supposed to make is not specifically about comic books, because I noticed this a lot at the show. And this is regardless of what you're buying, whether you're buying a Gentle Giant statue or you're buying a comic book or a Star Trek wallet, for that matter. I saw one vendor selling, a Star Trek wallet for $10, and you go 2 aisles over, and the same wallet's selling for 20. And so it was really, really easy to get gouged at this year's Fan Expo. And as we were discussing earlier, the one item there that blew my mind more than anyone else, and than anything else at the Fan Expo, is I saw one vendor selling a Kylo Ren Black Series mask. Now, this is one of those voice-changing masks. It's a very nice piece, and generally it sells for, at a Toys R Us, between $60, $65 and $80. Sometimes on a bad day it'll reach $90 if you're at a Toys R Us.
So how much was it priced at?
$175. This guy was selling, and he wasn't the only one. I saw a guy in both the North Building and the South Building with a $175 price tag on a Kylo Ren Black Series mask, which I had to laugh when I saw it. The point I'm trying to make is the Fan Expo is a great place. You can get it's a great place to shop, and sometimes you get deals, but more often than not, you're going to get gouged. So,
well, you're going to get gouged if you don't bring some knowledge, right? And what I'm saying, product knowledge. Know what you want and what you're willing to pay for. As comic book guys, maybe we want too much about grade. When you're buying in grade, you're always, that's what you're trying to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So if something's priced at a certain level, it has to match the grade. There's that corresponding factor. With other collectibles where condition may be not as factor, you have to assume availability and price demand as far as consumer demand for that item.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand having a markup above maybe what some retailer would pay because of the cost inherent to being at the Fan Expo with all that foot traffic. Even so, double or triple a price that you could get normal retail price or something else is a bit much.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. But anyways, just thought I'd bring that point up. Be careful. Do your research, especially when you go to a convention, because more often than not, they're out to get you. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be really, really careful.
Caveat emptor.
Yep.
Well, this is unexpected. Tales of the Unexpected, a 10-cent DC cover. Wait a minute, you did not pick this up at the Fan Expo. I know where you picked this up from. Retro Rare.
That's correct. But let's face it, I wasn't going to go an entire 2-part episode without showing at least one of my books. I mean, I didn't buy anything. We all know that. But I got to show at least one. So this is the one I'm going to show.
This is your tit for tat. I picked up that Strange Adventures 130 from that same Sergio Leone collection, I like to call it, from our local Retro Rare.
You're right, Jose. We picked this up around the same time from Retro Rare. As you know, we're always on the lookout for the 10-cent covers, but we don't buy them very often because they're usually overpriced. And,
butt ugly condition.
Butt ugly condition, yeah. So yeah, Sandy bought a collection the day we walked in, and we were rummaging through it.
Oh, we cherry picked that bad boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. And this is the one I picked up, and I mean, again, it's not a Superman, or it's not a Batman 10-cent cover. Most of us can't afford that, but it is a really nice 10-cent cover, and I'm really proud of it.
That book has got like great eye appeal, man.
Yeah.
Guardian Beast of the Lightstone. I love that kind of like sci-fi, kind of classic 50s kind of vibe almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got funk and it's got the junk in the right place, and that's a nice looking cover. And a nice looking book too. What would you say about at least a fine, maybe?
I called it a VG.
Oh, VG.
I called it a VG.
Wow, no, Paul.
I think
Again,
you're below on
here we
that.
had the discussion with that Silver Surfer with you going to 4. And for guys, when we say either a number or a grade, they usually correspond. So when we say a VG, that's a 4. A fine would be a 6. I wouldn't go that low on this bad boy. Is there some major defects? I'm staining something I'm not seeing?
But when I say VG, it's somewhere between a 4 and a 6, and the prices are all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
there can be a big difference on a 10-cent cover between a 4 and a 6. 2 full grades, you're talking, you know, sometimes big bucks, boy.
Okay, well, I did a quick check on eBay.
Yeah.
And I did a quick check on Comic Book Realm, and this is what I discovered, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, a near mint copy, like let's say a 9.2, because you don't like doing the 9.8s. So 9.2 on Comic Book Realm lists for about $485.
That's about what I expect. Something like a really basically highest almost grade type of that book for a 10-cent cover. Yeah, you expect to pay around $500. That seems about right. Okay, so another grades?
And for the Realm, for a VG copy, when I say VG, between a 4 and a 5, you're looking about $85.
So so it's US, so something a little over $100. Now, I know how much you paid for this bad boy. Let's say that. Did you pay $50 Canadian for this?
I paid $30 for this.
$30.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And if you go on eBay, they list between 29 and 100. It doesn't really give the grade on eBay. It just gives you 5, 6 books, and they're all listed between 29 and 100. So,
but there is going to be some spreads for what we're talking. This is an early Silver Age book. This is number 52. Do you know the year?
Yes, I do. It came out August 1960.
See, this is an early Silver Age book, man. Like, I mean, late 50s, very early 60s stuff. Anything really significantly before 65, it's going to be hard to get them in high grades. And when you find them in high grades, you're going to pay a high price.
Yeah, that's for sure. But again, I mentioned this in the past. If you're looking for the occasional 10-cent cover for your collection,
this is where to go. These anthologies, man. Strange Adventures, Tales of the Unexpected, that kind of thing, because it doesn't have quite the market demand that superhero books do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can get something in a reasonable grade at a reasonable price
without selling your soul or your firstborn.
True.
Yeah. So Tales of the Unexpected ran from 1956 to 1968, 104 issues in total.
Respectable, very respectable.
I've got some higher number ones too. They're great stories.
Yeah, and this one came out August 1960. Here's a cover artist for you that's a household name. Bob Brown.
Wow, you can get out more generic, middle of the road than Bob Brown.
Not Bobby Brown. It wasn't Whitney Houston's husband that drew this. It's
Brown.
Bob Brown. I don't know anything about him, but again, a name we've never mentioned before. Just thought I'd bring it up.
And we may never mention again.
And it's
Never know.
only the second 10-cent cover I've ever owned in my collection.
See, you did a tit for tat because I already had that Jungle, and you know, and I've recently picked up something else I'm getting graded from CBCS. That Spirit #1 from spring 1952, boys
We're gonna
and
show
girls.
it.
When it comes back, maybe in 6 months' time,
Yeah.
sure.
Anyways, thanks very much, Sandy. Love the book. Love the price at which you sold it to me at.
Same ditto for me for that Spirit. I picked it up from the Retro. Thanks
Cool.
out, Sandy.
I
Cool.
don't have any 10-cent covers yet, you guys. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and for Oogie's last book, this is the big league book. This is the big boy, boys and girls. DC Comics Presents number 26 from October 1980. I'm introducing this book because I'm very well acquainted with this book. I have a CGC 9.4 that I bought from Pendragon for $300. Oog, take it away.
I was there when you bought it.
Yes, you were.
All right. So what we're looking at again is another BMV book,
Wow. I was there when you bought it.
a wall book,
Of
which they don't
course.
have very many of
No.
there at BMV. A lot of the stuff is just sitting in the bin.
Yeah.
Isabel from she's usually on the second floor at BMV, but she's at every con, every Fan Expo.
Local knowledge, good to put to use when you
Open them
shop
up.
there. Yeah.
She respects the books. We delicately opened it up and looked at the pages, very, very white, no smudging of those pages whatsoever.
For a book that is now
Went through and
36
through
years
it.
old. Yeah.
I mean, for Canadian $95, I mean, I asked him, do you have any room on it? He gave me $5 off, and I'm happy with that
90.
because it
For
works
sure.
out to 71 and a quarter.
So $70 US for a book that's probably, we would say, is about maybe a VF. For boys and girls, that's about an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, but that's about half price. They
When-
usually like to mark stuff off about 40%. That's why I love hitting them up.
They get you don't get the 40% on the wall stuff though. Not usually anyway.
Not
No.
usually, but this worked out for me.
It was fairly
because,
priced.
You know, at a VF, it's about 153 US,
And I can speak to the higher grades. I paid 300 Canadian from Pendragon for mine. That's about 2.25 US. Now, 9.4 CGC are going for about 250, sometimes to around 300 US.
Yeah.
Now, 9.8s, you're talking, I don't know, 500 and up, 600 and up, something like that. So, like the highest grade of 9.8, you're talking obviously very high hundreds Canadian. So
Yeah.
for a book, if that's an 8, I mean, that's about the lowest you'd want to go condition-wise if you're looking for investment grade copies, I would say. That's probably what at least you want to look for. You'd like to get a 9, but sometimes you might have to pay like 3 digits, like well over $100 probably for a 9.
You know,
and what knocked this down really
The top
is just
corner.
this one little nick.
Yeah, it's got a love bite out of it. It's got a
Just
hickey.
right
If
there.
that wasn't there,
Yeah.
you hate to think what it would, because otherwise that would be a
man.
9 plus, 992, man, at least.
I know, because when you were with me when we
Yeah.
opened it up. We were just very delicate with it,
yeah.
and again they always have those crappy bags. It looked like it'd
Yeah.
been sitting in that bag for longer than the bag is supposed to exist. So it looked
See-
rougher at first glance.
Yes,
You
that's
take
why
it
you
out
have to
of the
take a
bag, it
second
looks
look.
So much better. A lot of their books, that is the case. When you so many times I've bought books at really cheap prices, and then I get it home and take it out of the bag. It's like, oh my god, most of the damage is the bag, not the book.
Because that, I think they're a guy who's probably a part-time guy that comes in to do this
He
stuff.
does it once a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So he's not really rebagging and reborning. He's looking at the thing and slapping a price tag on it based on what
Yeah.
he thinks the grade is. So
Yeah.
what we're saying here is they're not being presented to the best light. Any professional dealer obviously wants the book to look as good as they can because you can charge more. And when grading can be some subjective on a raw book, I mean, it makes a difference as far as attracting the person to drop the bucks.
And then they knock 40% off.
Well, my presentation award for this year still goes to the Batcave from the
Oh.
comic book show a couple months ago.
You know what? Like,
Where are we
I
gonna
look
walk
forward
first?
to, we're going to be
Where
there
are we gonna
Sunday.
walk first? Where are we going to walk first?
If the Batcave is
Those
there,
guys.
that's where we're going first this
That's our
weekend.
First
Yeah.
stop.
All right, something to look forward to. Oh, good last book, Oog.
Great
Thank
book,
you.
Mike. And I don't know, Joe, both you guys have this book and I don't. You piss me off, guys.
Yeah, I got a 9.4.
All right, so the next two books are Jose's. I'm introducing him. It's number 13, and I can't really read the second one. These books from the 60s, you know, the number's so small.
Take a look
Can
here.
Can you, all right.
It's number 42.
42, there you go. And I have that one too, thanks to Jose.
Okay,
Jose
so
pointed that out.
sure, no problem, Oog. I ended my first segment of this episode for the Fan Expo with an Aquaman title talking about the late great Jim Aparo. So it's on. I think it's only fitting that I end this second segment with my last two books of the night, two Aquaman titles. The Rodney Dangerfield of comics, a title that really has never really gotten the respect. I mean, it's made fun of in many popular culture venues. Big Bang Theory. I mean,
Big Bang is the one
Yeah.
big time, yeah.
Until the movie comes out, and then
yeah,
it'll
and now
change.
we've got two titles here that you probably, and I don't want to say I've ever bought something for investment value, but man, I love these. These are two Nick Cardy covers, okay? So they're great, specifically the number 42 issue.
Yeah.
Still on a second appearance kick. What that means, boys and girls, that these two titles represent the second appearances of both Black Manta, and for you who are not in the know, that he is the Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker's Aquaman. He is the penultimate Aquaman villain. Not that there's that many of them, I mean, really.
The Ming the Merciless to the Flash Gordon.
You got it, buddy. So yeah, so he is the man when it comes to that. So, and that is a classic Cardi cover.
Yeah.
The only title in the first series, if I'm not mistaken, where it does not have that type, the circular type that you see on the second mirror there.
Yeah.
It's the only time that it's actually part of the image in that sense. So it is a great title. We have the second appearance of Black Manta, one of Aquaman's most famous villains. We all probably know him from the Super Friends cartoons, if you can go far that back.
And he's in the Suicide Squad.
Of course, he's definitely a comic that should be under the radar. Not many sellers are noting this as the second appearance of Black Manta on eBay. Perhaps even a majority of dealers aren't even aware of this one either. Now, this is a retro rare pickup. Thanks out, give a shout out to Sandy. You definitely have an advantage, people, now. So, Comic-Con, your local, or maybe even eBay may provide a cheap snack to this one. You'd agree there, Mike, right?
Absolutely, I grabbed it too.
No, I'm not sure how long this is going to last, folks, so until people start catching on. So be on the lookout for this. I paid 40 bucks Canadian, about $30 US. It's a nice grade. It's about, I would say, about a fine, very fine, maybe a 7, fine minus 7.5, maybe. But in any case, it's got a great cover. Is this my foe? The breakdowns on it from Overstreet 8, 992s, 34.60 and 85 bucks. So I'm well there. Even if it's a 6 at $34 US, that's a $40 book. I paid $40 and it's higher than that.
It's a beautiful cover and very unusual for Aquaman. Like I said,
yeah.
the type is actually part of the picture. And how often does that happen?
Not any time other
think
than
that's
this
the only
issue.
one.
That's the only issue where it happens. I could be wrong. If anybody knows for sure, let us know. Okay, so let's get to the second one. Second mirror, okay? Now, keep in mind, boys and girls, I always consider myself a key bargain hunter. Now, I don't know if I got a bargain on this one. Still, it's a second appearance kick, and so we'll be grinning for the first appearance of Mira here. If you were looking for a number 11, which Mike has and is currently out for grading, you've already seen a big boost in demand for that one, number 11, okay?
Yeah.
So the second appearance will probably be overlooked for a while. As you can see here from the price tag, they have a second or third Mira. Officially, 100%, this is the second appearance of Mira, okay? So it may be overlooked. Many are speculating that the character obviously will be in the Aquaman movie, and it may be a good call since she is the longest running Aquaman love interest for the character. Now, still, this is a speculation comic, as the only character confirmed currently in the Aquaman movie is Jason Momoa, who will be playing Aquaman. The second appearance of Mira is not well known for what key issue status. Nobody much is noting it as such. Now, here's what I get to. Now, I've mentioned this before. Comic book realm pricing on this one. And now this is a high grade. Now I would say this is roughly, I would say about a 9, a VF near mint, okay? Now here are the spreads for 9, 9.2, and 9.4. Now, in other words, 3 major grade splits on this thing. At 9, it's 2. At 9.2, it's 203. And at 9.4, it's 210. A whole $7 US split between a 9 and a 9.4.
That's
sorry,
just
boys and
crazy.
girls.
No.
They go exponential above 9, boys and girls. This
Can't
is a
find
title from the Silver Age. High grades ones don't really exist in that high grade. Now, having said that, the Overstreet are 8 at 9 and 9.2, 66, 138, 210. Now, please note, the highest grade there at 210 is only a 9.2. They go exponential above that. That's why Overstreet never has and probably never will have grades over a 9.2.
Yeah.
$180 paid Canadian, $150. If it's a 9, I'm okay. If it's significantly less, maybe not less so. But we will hold out for that. That's a book I'm probably definitely going to get graded.
Nice, nice.
So I started with I landed with Aquaman, and now we'll end with Aquaman again. Again, a title that if you're gonna go specking, I mean, I would suggest if you don't want to pay out the big bucks for a high-grade first appearance of Black Manta or Mira, which they are big now, and you're probably never gonna pay higher because the movie will drop in the next year or so. Look out for second appearances and high grades, and you may be able to pick up a bargain if they haven't caught on to it yet.
Cool.
Just a reminder, highway robbery. I got my first Mira 11 for 20 bucks.
That was at Niagara Falls.
Niagara
Falls
yeah,
Comic-Con.
yeah.
Goodbye. And how
I
much?
think they had a disgruntled employee who just shoved it in there with the $20
Yeah.
price tag. Said,
Wow.
"Screw you, boss," because
You
20 bucks.
picked up the second Manta from Pendragon. How much did you pay for yours?
I can't remember what I paid now. It wasn't
Probably
that
around the same
expensive.
amount as mine, probably around the $40 range,
Yeah, I
because
think
it's about
so.
the
Yeah.
same grade, about a 7.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
I
Very
definitely wanted to point that one out too, because it wasn't in the scratch and dent
happy.
pile.
And I thank
Yeah.
you for that too. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the fact you're not in jail for what you paid for the first appearance of Mira is
Oh,
very
boy.
surprising.
Well, let's see
Yeah.
when it comes back, CGC.
Yeah, you have that book in out with 15 of my books that I'm getting graded, and we should get those back within the next
I'm
few months.
hoping somewhere between a 5 and a 6, so we'll see.
I think it's a
Still,
6.
that's a highway robbery.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, guys. Okay, we got to call it a night here. And wow, that was amazing. And so, yeah, that's it. Another Fan Expo comes to a close. 2-part episode. Hope you liked them. Sorry for being so long-winded. These are definitely the longest episodes we've ever put together. But there's so much content, so much good times, and so many great books that were acquired at this year's event. I mean, what are we gonna do, right? We got to show them. We got to show them all,
gotta
right?
show the books, man. See what we're getting out there, and so you can hopefully dig too.
This is the last gap. So after this, like I said, we're going to be at the Toronto Comic Book Show. The next con we'll probably attend will be December Con.
DecemberCon, yeah.
The biggest one-day con, and one of the biggest ones.
Biggest one-day Comic-Con in North America, or so they say.
So we'll have a couple of months to decompress, replenish our funds, and then go con hunting after this weekend.
Yeah. So guys, if you like what you saw, leave a comment. We love reading them, and yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you at I guess the Toronto Comic Book Show is going to be the next episode, and that's going to be really a fantastic episode because we all 3 of us always come home with good books from that event.
Plus, we'll have some scary Halloween books.
Halloween's coming too. Guys are working on
some stuff you haven't even seen yet.
Okay, guys. See you next time.
Hoi
See you
hoi.
soon.